If you would, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Skelton, could you give us a roll call?
Mr. George, Ms. Wetzel,
Here.
Ms. Young,
Here.
Mr. Olson, Mr. Bradley,
Here.
Mr. Pearson, Mr. Gray, Mr. Keller,
Here.
Mayor Teague,
Here.
Mr. Smith, and myself. You have a quorum.
All right. I would kind of like to regress just for a second. I would like to welcome leadership from the leadership class from the Chamber of Commerce. They've been touring Russellville today, and we've got several of them here tonight. We appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you've learned some good stuff, and hopefully you learn a little bit more tonight. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, have you had an opportunity to look over the minutes of March 19, 2026 meeting? If so, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to accept. Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Thank you. At this time, we'll turn our attention to Ms. Brittany Baker, our finance director, and see what our April 26 finances look like.
All right. For your viewing pleasure, general fund revenues for the month of March totaled $1,299,118. Of that, $974,567 was sales tax and state turnback. $48,421 was franchise fees and permits. $276,130 was all other revenue. A tax revenue comparison. This is year to date, as well as a budget versus actual, and a comparison from last year to this year. The city, which is the half-cent sales tax, was $1,487,457.90. The city's portion of the county collection was $1,773,273.78, both of which were a little bit above last year and above budget projections. General fund expenditures for the month of March were $1,711,213. Of that, $1,274,915 were personnel-related expenses. $436,298 were utilities and other. Street fund revenue for March totaled $820,025. Of that, $516,252 was street sales tax. $190,316 was state turnback and ad valorem. $85,476 was interest. $2,700 was street cutting permit. $25,281 was all other revenue. Street fund expenditures for the month of March. Operational expenditures totaled $188,503. Of that, $143,623 were personnel-related expenses. $44,880 were utilities and other. Capital expenses totaled $140,184, and that was all for equipment, a confined space system, a ditch witch trailer. Street sales tax spending totaled $599,786. That went towards drainage maintenance, drainage projects, downtown improvements, US 64 East pedestrian improvements, and the US 7 Reasoner signal. State turnback street projects totaled $24,448. That was towards general sidewalk and traffic signal improvements. Economic development funds. Revenue for the month of March was $155,836. Of that, $129,063 was street sales tax. $17,073 was interest. March expenditures totaled $259,645. That was towards airport equipment shop, the hangar roof maintenance at the airport, as well as some PC replacement. Below are the various balances for the various economic development funds. In totality, those accounts equal $5,276,530.48. Capital expenditures, March revenue totaled $25,472. That was an interest as well as a budgeted transfer for network infrastructure. March expenditures totaled $7,602. That was towards network infrastructure and a boiler repair. Below is a breakdown of the 1-cent sales tax. This is the sales tax that was implemented in 2021. It was renewed this year in 2026. And what's been received, what's been spent. In totality, the combination of those four accounts is $21,331,503.12. And if there are no questions, that concludes the finance report.
Thank you so much, Ms. Baker. All right. Do we have Mr. Where you're not on here? Are we? No, it's planning development. Okay. Mr. Wilson, this is going to be your first presentation for us. I know Mr. Wilson worked hard because we're having some. You may not see it, but we're having some technical difficulties behind the scenes, and Mr. Wilson had to scramble really quick to get ready to bring his stuff onto a jump drive and everything. So we're grateful for our IT team that's been working here trying to get us up and running. So.
All right, yes, good evening. Thank you all for being here. I know we're all here for the Planning and Development Departmental report.
That's the only reason.
I will do my best to keep it brief. So just jumping in really quickly, a look on our accomplishments this year. Since June, when I came on board, we've seen 125 residential building plans, 62 commercial building plans, 34 sign plans, 14 zoning variances, 9 pre-application meetings, 7 special use permits, and 16 other planning commission items. Those items include those minor subdivisions that have to come to council because we're dedicating right-of-way. In addition to the aforementioned accomplishments, staff was able to approve 45 staff-level actions. These include things like those minor subdivisions that don't require right-of-way dedication, and we're able to do in office. Property boundary verifications, which we do in a joint manner with the GIS department. Zoning verification letters that we issue at request, and tower use permits. One of our big events that we were able to attend as a department this past year was the 2025 American Planning Association Bi-State Conference, which was held in St. Louis, Missouri. It was a really incredible opportunity to be able to see a large Midwestern city and how their approach to zoning, development, and planning is paying off for them. In addition to just being able to go to a really incredible city in the United States, we're able to attend classes that are usually sessions about 45 minutes to an hour. You can see on the screen there some of the classes that staff was able to attend, including an Arkansas legislative update session, which was really good to get us acquainted with the changes that have came in the last legislative session, as well as changes that may be coming down the hopper in the future. There are also, take a look there, infill residential development class. There was a really interesting seminar regarding a planned city in the Midwest. I wish I could remember where off the top of my head, but they treated it as though it was real-life Sim City. That was really fascinating. And a number of other classes. I want to say the total was around 15 to 20 class sessions we were able to attend. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not give a big thank you shout out to our 3 interns that we were able to have since June. Miss Allie Laura, some of you may recognize. She is a former member of the Russellville City Youth Council, for which she served as vice mayor. She's now running track at ASU, where she is majoring in communications. Miss Haley Greer and Mr. Blake Huffman were both our fall semester interns. Haley and Blake are both at ATU still, and they are expected to graduate this spring. Both came to us from the anthropology geography department. Ms. Haley is looking to teach in Northwest Arkansas, where she's from after graduation, and Blake is looking at getting a law degree. Finally, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I wouldn't have been able to have the success in our department without the support of everybody right here. So thank you very much. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. That's
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'm assuming there's going to be no report from the Personnel Committee tonight because Mr. Gray's not here. Chairman Keller, on the finance side of things, you got anything?
Yes, sir. We've got a few things for this evening. Item 1 from our meeting today at 5:30 is an appropriation for a pass-through from the Economic Development Capital Fund number 27, in the amount of $817,114. It's for the apron reconstruction at the Russellville Airport. It's phase 2 of that project, and we present item 1 as a motion to adopt.
Got item 1 with a motion to adopt. Any discussion at all? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
On to our meeting from last Tuesday. Items 1 and 1A. Item 1 is consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute a grant agreement with the Arkansas Economic Development Commission and for the city to accept and receive said 90-10 matching grant to develop an industrial site on South Elmira Avenue for economic development purposes. And item 1A is the appropriation from the 2003 Economic Development Reserves in the sum of $263,940 for that site development. We present items 1 and 1A as a motion to adopt.
Have items 1 and 1A, a motion to adopt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 2 is an appropriation for a pass-through from the general fund carryover in the sum of $74,000 to be used to fund local historic preservation via the Certified Local Government Grant Program. And we present item 2 as a motion to adopt.
All right, I got a motion to adopt on item 2. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 3 is an appropriation from the city's general fund carryover in the sum of $26,912.50 to be used for the spring stipend for the street fund employees. We present item 3 as a motion to adopt.
All right, item 3 has a motion to adopt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 4 similarly is an appropriation from the general fund carryover balance in the sum of $215,886 to fund the spring stipend for the general fund department salaried employees. And we present item 4 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt on item 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
Item 5 is an appropriation from the Sales Tax Capital Fund 07 in the sum of $478,556.52 to purchase a fire station alert system to be paid out in three annual installments of $159,518.84. We present item 5 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt on item 5. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 6 is a consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute an agreement to, an amendment to the agreement with Blackstone Construction LLC as construction managers to modify the downtown streetscape plan to improve traffic and pedestrian safety, to expand the project in a limited scope, and to add more drainage improvements for the project. We present item 6 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt on item 6. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 7 is consideration of a resolution accepting a bid from Curb Time Solutions LLC for the 2026 sidewalk maintenance for the city of Russellville, and also authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter in an agreement with Curb Time Solutions LLC for that work with the 2026 sidewalk maintenance program. We present item 7 as a motion to adopt.
All right. Got a motion to adopt on item 7. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 8 is consideration of approval for the first quarter 2026 reimbursement expenses for the Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $17,177.01. And we present item 8 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt on item 8. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
And the last item on our agenda is consideration of a resolution of support to apply for and utilize the Federal Aid Transportation Alternatives Program or Recreational Trails Program funds for the Sequoia Russell Trail Connection Project. We present item 9 as a motion to adopt.
All right, got item 9 as a motion to adopt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Yield the floor back to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chairman. Moving on to item 1, unfinished old business. This is a consideration of ordinance vacating and abandoning 140-foot minimally improved section of North Jackson Avenue with an 80-foot right-of-way adjacent to Lot 12 of Block 88 and Lot 7 of Block 89 of the J.L. Shin Edition, submitted by Barrett & Associates on behalf of Clarence Harbor and Armando Cienfuegos? All right, wait, look at that. This will be the third and final reading.
Mayor, I move we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read for the third and final time by title with short explanation only.
I have a motion. I have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor? Any opposed? Sir.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning a 140-foot minimally improved section of North Jackson Avenue with an 80-foot right-of-way adjacent to Lot 12 of Block 88, Lot 7 of Block 89 of J.L. Shin Addition, City of Russellville, Arkansas, and for the purposes this ordinance if passed, would vacate the aforementioned right-of-way at the aforementioned area as further described or as shown by the exhibits attached as Exhibit A to this ordinance.
Move for the adoption of the ordinance.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance. Any final discussion? All right. All in favor of adopting? Oh, yeah, roll call. I'm sorry. We just talked about it. Yeah. Can you give me a roll call?
I know, I forgot. Mr. Keller,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Wetzel,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Olson. Yes. Mr. Pearson. Yes. 5, you got it.
All right.
6-0.
5 is good.
No, it's 6-0.
All right. Okay, moving on to new business. Item 1 is consideration of an ordinance accepting the dedication of right-of-ways and easements to the city of Russellville, Arkansas in the plat of the Damascus Road Addition minor subdivision plat for 118 to 120 Damascus Road and for other purposes. This is submitted by Barrett & Associates on behalf of D&T Investors, LLC.
I move we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read for the first of 3 readings by title with short explanation.
Have a motion and a second on the reading. Any discussion at all? All in favor of reading?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance accepting the dedication of the right-of-ways and easements to the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and the plat of the Damascus Road Addition minor plat subdivision / incidental subdivision plat for Damascus Road and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would accept all the dedications, right-of-way easements in the plat that is attached with this ordinance as Exhibit A and would have a bond requirement be set by the city engineer.
All right, thank you, sir. Moving on to item 2 in new business is consideration of an ordinance amending the current zoning code for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, adopted by ordinance 2443 and for other purposes. This is submitted by the Planning Commission.
Mayor, I move we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read by title with short explanation for the first of 3 readings.
I have a motion and a second on the reading. Any discussion at all? All in favor of the reading?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir?
An ordinance amending the current zoning code for the city of Russellville adopted by ordinance number 2443 and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would adopt the amendments attached to this ordinance as Exhibit A regarding zoning code versus sidewalk applicability, dwelling, townhouse, and row house, found in Articles 3, Section 23, Subsection 1, and Article 12, the definitions.
All right, thank you, sir. One thing I would like to add before we close out, if you don't mind, there are a couple fundraisers going on downtown tonight for our Quiz Bowl, and some of our youth council are part of that Quiz Bowl. Our Russellville High School Quiz Bowl has been 9-time state Quiz Bowl champions and 2-time national Quiz Bowl champions. That's something to be proud of. And so Downtown Taco is having a 20% of their sales donated back tonight, and then also Cool Cat Creamery. So if you haven't had dinner, go home. Alan, go home, get your wife, and take her out to dinner and say, hey, we're going. Suzanne, get Clay, and say we need to go to dinner. But go down and support our local merchants that are supporting our kids that are doing great things for our community. So thank you so much. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we will adjourn. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.